home space. What was the craziest story which you or your customers experienced or heard when?
Oh,
so I hope your expression is caught there properly.
There are so many of them, and trust me, some of them are like really shocking. There was this story of a family which had this land grabbing mafia. They're so organized, you would not believe. They have a complete data of to whom the land belongs to, and if they stay in India or they stay outside India. If they stay outside India, how many times do they visit India? So that is the kind of a data mining and data analytics they do. And so this particular incident, I remember, this was of a friend. So his relative, like, they had purchased this property and they had gone to US, and when they kind of came back, to their shock, they were surprised to see a complete structure standing there. So immediately they had all the papers, so they just kind of went there and said that, hey, these are our papers and this is our property, please vacate. Do not believe what the people who were staying there, they just like a gang kind of accumulated and said, today we are seeing you, the next time we see you here, you will be walking back without your limbs. These were exactly the words.
Wow.
And obviously these people, like, they did not want to get into all those kind of things, so they just just chuck it, like it's not really worth all this kind of a stress, and they eventually had to forgo their property. And this is a very common scenario in Bangalore.
Wow.
This is just one of the stories, and there's also a saying that when you fence your property, the skeletons come out of the closet. So that's the reason we have had so many stories where when we have gone to fence the property, disputes have happened. For a same property, 2-3 people holding papers have come. Like sometimes the property papers were forged, the same property was sold to 2-3 people, kind of a thing. Like if you just do again a Google, you will come across so many such stories. So it is very important. One is, of course, while buying, to ensure that it is a very reliable source, and the second is fencing.
So before we get into a little more about the fences and all, while fencing, did you guys have any run-ins with some crazy people not allowing you to do stuff and all that?
So see, every business has a risk. Correct. So this is the risk in our business.
Okay.
And it happens all the time. Like even recently, like we were fencing a property. So when we fence a property, we of course check with the customer that if there is any dispute with the neighbors or anything, you can kind of let us know. The property owner was like, no, there are no issues. And when we started fencing, the dispute happened. The neighbors kind of came and said, hey, you can't do this, you can't touch this, kind of this thing. So we had to. So this is again where we kind of stand out. We understand that sometimes issues like this can happen. So we are very supportive. Unlike let's say a local contractor so you're already under stress. A local contractor would come and say, this has happened, I'm going to charge you more, and this is what's going to happen, you didn't tell me. So we understand. We believe a lot in empathy. So we put ourselves in the shoes of the customer and we understand that it's okay. This has happened. Now what is the solution? So at least from our side, what is it that we need to pause it. Even if you want, like, we can refund the money or whatever, at least give them that solace there, because they're already dealing with a lot of stress. So it happens all the time. We have even had cases where, like, while we were fencing, like we had people like walking in with swords and all those kind of things, and we just had to kind of back up.
This is Bangalore?
This is not Bangalore, this was in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
This was a property near Coimbatore, what we were doing.
But that's still close to,
yes,
cities and all that.
Yes. It happens all the time, and we have had cases where people have come and broken the fence, whatever. So that's a risk in our business, but someone's got to do it.
Wow. I hope your employees are well insured.
Yeah. We ensure that there is a accident insurance, there's a medical insurance for all our folks. And again, we also train our employees also that don't get involved into it. Yes, while because like that's not our this thing. Whenever any issues happen, like we inform that so and so has kind of happened, and we try to because that safety is also important.
Interesting.